Is there a good way how we should breathe? How can we know that we are not having a good breathing? Hi, do you want to know about the most important way for decreasing your stress and improving your mental health? If so, watch this video. Here I invited Lukas because he is a person who is really into the topic of breathing, which is he's gonna explain us more, but this method is probably one of the best ways to decrease our stress. Lukas, can you briefly tell us who you are and what are you doing so far?
Yeah, so my name is Lukas. I'm a Ph.D. student at the Technical University of Munich, and I'm studying how breathing affects the autonomic nervous system.
One of our future videos is gonna be related to connecting with your body, because that's the best way, probably one of the best ways to really connect with what is happening, connect with your life. For this, it's essential the breathing. In psychology, we see it very often, but can you tell us more in depth? Is there a good way how we should breathe?
Yeah, first I would acknowledge the observation that breathing is fundamental to being a human being, to life. So if we stop breathing, that is the end of life, and we begin our life with breathing. So it is a great way to connect to your own body. It's happening every moment of your life. It sustains life, and there's a natural variance in breathing. So there's not one way how to breathe, although there are some clues on a breathing pattern that is more physiological or health promoting. For example, nasal breathing, abdominal breathing, and also breathing in a frequency that feels natural to the individual. And obviously, depending on the situation and the things that we are doing in our lives, this changes dramatically. So if we're exercising, for example, we might start breathing through the mouth, especially at the end of a hard exercise, or we increase our breathing frequency. So there's not one way.
But if there is no one way, and if there is not a pattern of healthy breathing, of a good breathing, so how can we recognize, or how can we know that we are not having a good breathing, you know?
Yeah, I think one way for an individual to recognize whether the breathing is physiological or the breathing is healthy to the person is to just observe the moments where you feel calm and relaxed. How is your breathing? Like, for example, if you're at night lying in your bed and you observe yourself breathing and you're calm and relaxed, just how is the pattern? What is the frequency of my breathing? Is it fast and shallow? Is it deep and slow? And when I'm anxious or stressed, how am I breathing? Is it fast and shallow up into the chest, almost like it's hard to breathe?
Yeah.
And that is a clue on how our breathing changes depending on how we feel. And we can use the breathing pattern in situations where we feel particularly relaxed and calm to then take this breathing pattern and implement it in a situation where we might feel more stressed.
Okay.
Because this breathing pattern is not only related to the calm and relaxed state, but it can also induce the calm and relaxed state. So it goes both ways.
Okay. Yeah, because what I have seen in therapy basically is that when we are working with someone else, we can ask him to modify his breathing, but usually for going to have this abdominal breathing. I would like to know when or why do we stop breathing properly?
Yeah, I like that segue because it points out it's important to find out why we breathe the way we breathe, because usually it does have a function. For example, if our nose is stuffed because of toxins in the air through air pollution by cars, and we run around with a stuffy nose all the time, obviously we will start breathing through the mouth. So this is a functional adaptation of the human body to the circumstance in which the person lives. So it's a complex question in regards to why we develop the breathing pattern that is dysfunctional, in the sense of it promotes stress and decreases the likelihood of us being in a calm and relaxed state. And it is in fact in part due to just increased stress that we experience at work or
in life
in general. Yes, so that is one reason why breathing has might have changed, although it's a very nuanced question, and I'm actually not aware of scientific studies that observed changes in breathing pattern in the last 20 years and saw a strong indication for a fundamental change in the way we breathe from 20 years ago to now.
Because what I have heard is usually that we stop our breathing in a healthy way when we are children because of the traumatic experiences, and when we stop our breathing, that disconnects us from our suffering. Indeed. So that's something what I have learned. But you also have some different type of breathings that you would like to show us, right?
Yes, I can show a few breathing exercises that have shown to increase relaxation and also lead to more positive affect or positive emotions. There's a wide variety of different breathing exercises, and it's very important that you find the breathing exercise that works for you. So that's why we also show you a few options, and you experiment and see what breathing exercise works best for you. So first I would like to introduce the diaphragmatic breathing. It's a bit of a misnomer because all breathing is diaphragmatic. We always use the diaphragm. It's the primary muscle for breathing. Although it does emphasize breathing more deeply into the abdomen, which is very nice because it actually, the lung is the larger part of the lung is goes down, almost touching the whole abdomen region, so it's really using the full lung capacity. With the diaphragmatic breathing, it's also, and that's another thing that is interesting to point out, a lot of those breathing techniques, they are actually quite ancient. It's also called the three-part breath in the yogic sciences. So you can place one hand on your abdomen and the other hand on your chest, and then you can just first of all observe your own breathing, how it comes naturally. And now you can consciously modulate your breath to really put emphasis on the abdomen. So with every inhalation, your abdomen should expand, and with every exhalation, your abdomen should constrict. So you inhale, collarbone, ribs, abdomen. Exhale, abdomen, ribs, collarbone. Inhale, collarbone, ribs, abdomen. Exhale, abdomen, ribs, collarbone. So really feel your belly expanding with every inhalation and constricting with every exhalation. And you can also add some guided meditation to that. So every time you inhale, you can visualize how life is coming into you, and with every exhalation, how you let go of everything that doesn't serve you anymore. And really connect with the life-giving force that is the breath. And also take a few moments here to observe yourself. How do you feel right now after doing this breathing exercise?
Good. It calmed me. I hope it also calmed you if you did the exercise with us.
You can also do this at home before you go to sleep. It's a great way to calm your nervous system and really have a smooth transition from wakefulness to sleep.
Okay.
And the second breathing exercise that I would like to introduce to you is box breathing. It's also a common breathing technique that actually originated in the special forces. So people who are under very high risk, high stakes environments with a lot of trauma and stress, they found this breathing technique to be very helpful to cope with the stress that they experience in combat.
I just wanted to mention something, because the box breathing is very famous when working with people who are suffering for any panic disorder, or when they are having a panic attack, for example. It's good to do this box breathing. That's what I have also learned in this therapeutical approach.
And the box breathing, you can adapt the box breathing to your liking. So usually it's 4 seconds inhalation, 4 seconds pause, 4 seconds exhalation, 4 seconds pause. So it's a 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds. You can also do it 3, 3, 3, 3, or you can do it 5, 5, 5, 5. So everyone is different. Everyone has a different lung capacity. And if you're new to the practice, maybe start with 3 seconds or even 2 seconds. And then as you develop and build your practice, you might increase the number of seconds that you do for each inhalation, pause, and exhalation.
But do that breathing should go to the diaphragm, to the belly button, or should just stay in your chest?
Very good point. So we take what we learned from the diaphragmatic breathing or the 3-part breath, and we also apply it here. So usually we try to breathe abdominally. We try to use the full lung capacity that we have, and we try not to have a shallow breath that is up in the chest area, because that is usually associated with a more stressful state. Okay. So really trying to keep the secondary breathing muscles relaxed and really let your diaphragm do most of the work. Okay, cool. So can we do that? All right, I'll take you through the box breathing. So inhalation, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, X, pause. Okay. In, and you can do this at your own pace. If you're sitting at home, or if you're sitting in a tram on your way back home and you're listening to this, find your own pace, find your own rhythm, and implement this breathing technique whenever it fits you and you need some distance as well as some calm. Okay, cool. Then I would like to introduce prolonged exhalation, which is another breathing exercise. Here the main focus is on the exhalation. So the exhalation is longer than the inhalation, because by exhaling we actually innervate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for slowing down the heart rate, which increases heart rate variability, which is in turn an indicator of parasympathetic activity. Okay. So again, here, same principle. You work with the numbers that work for you. Usually you start with 4 seconds inhalation and 6 seconds exhalation. So these are 6 breaths per minute that you take. So you really slow down the breathing frequency, increase exhalation to induce a relaxation response. So I'll count and you can start the breathing. Okay. In, 2, 3, 4. X, 2, 3, 6. And I already see if there's a pause after you exhale the air, that's totally normal, that's fine. Try to make the exhale though very smooth and gently, so that you really try to exhale in a very slow manner. Okay. So let's start again. In, 2, 3, 4, X, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, X, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, X, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now find your own pace and try to exhale in a very relaxed manner, like the air is just coming out of your nose naturally. You don't have to force the exhalation. The exhalation is actually a very passive process. So when you inhale, your diaphragm contracts and your lung volume fills. And when you exhale, you actually just relax the diaphragm and the air is naturally coming out.
Okay, I just have one question. In my understanding, the air should go also to the diaphragm, no?
The diaphragm is attached to the lungs. So the diaphragm is pulling the lungs down when it constricts, increasing or decreasing the pressure in the lungs so that air can come into the lungs. When the diaphragm relaxes, the pressure in the lung increases and pushes out the air.
Okay.
So this is the mechanical process of breathing. You can really let go with every exhalation because it's just the relaxing of the diaphragm that releases the air from the lungs.
Lukas, do you want to tell us something else that you consider that is important for us to show in this moment?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is breathing meditation for me. Because as you prefaced the video with breathing is always with us, it connects us with our body. I think that is the most important thing that breathing can teach us. It's being present in this moment and not being stuck in our mind, thinking about the past or the future. It's really connecting with the present moment and also realizing the power that lies in conscious control of the breathing.
Okay.
Like you can consciously regulate your own breathing, and by consciously regulating your breath, you have control over your autonomic nervous system, which empowers you to relax yourself as well as to increase your level of activation if you need to be highly activated for a task that you want to get done. So really observe yourself, observe your breathing, and use the powers that evolution has given us to consciously regulate our breath. And I wish you all the best on your journey of exploration and adventure.
Yeah, and just one last thing. Your social media, or where can people connect with you? Yeah.
So it's just Lukas Moebus, so you can connect with me either on all the various social media platforms. And I'm planning to do also something with YouTube and Spotify, so really trying to open up the space and sharing the information that we gather in science and distribute it to all the people that are maybe not part of the scientific community yet.
Cool. So thank you very much for seeing us until here, and see you in next video. Bye bye.